very interesting day at the Supreme Court yesterday, where they were debating over Section 2 of the Voters' Rights Act, which Democrats are very, very worried about right now that the Supreme Court may tangle with, because it's essentially a super racist redistricting policy. And so, there's a lot of redistricting going on right now, and there is reason for Democrats to be a little nervous. They're panicking because Republicans could potentially gain 19 or more seats alone just if the Voting Rights Act becomes abolished. So there was a lot of, there was all the statements from the lawyers, and Ketanji Brown Jackson was in rare form yesterday, you guys. Oh my God. Mm-hmm. So a lot of what happened with sort of the arguments in front of the Supreme Court is that either the lawyers or the Supreme Court justices, specifically in this case, Ketanji Brown Jackson, admitted openly how racist Democrats are. It's like they say these things and they don't make that connection. But Ketanji Brown Jackson went so far as to say that being Black is essentially like being disabled. That was her actual argument. If you don't believe me, listen to it out of her own face.
A kind of paradigmatic example of this is something like the ADA. Congress passed the Americans with Disabilities Act against the backdrop of a world that was generally not accessible to people with disabilities. And so it was discriminatory in effect because these folks were not able to access these buildings. And it didn't matter whether the person who built the building or the person who owned the building intended for them to be exclusionary. That's irrelevant. Congress said the facilities have to be made equally open to people with disabilities if readily possible. I guess I don't understand why that's not what's happening here. The idea in Section 2 is that we are responding to current day manifestations of past and present decisions that disadvantage minorities and make it so that they don't have equal access to the voting system, right? They're disabled. In fact,
they're disabled.
They're disabled.
maybe she's just mentally disabled. We ever think of that? And maybe she's.
Oh my God!
I thank Jesus that we have a majority on the Supreme Court. Because at least for now, because this is what Democrats deem as being qualified as a Supreme Court justice. Like, this is who they deem to be qualified for that job. And it's terrifying, you guys. It actually is terrifying. She's a DEI hire. Let's just get real. That's what this is.
And then she gets very, very, very snippy, because she's asking, like, the Solicitor General, and she's asking these questions. And then when they start to explain things to her in a way that she doesn't like, she actually cuts them off, which is what happened in this clip.
Right. And the problem, Justice Jackson, that the Middle District identified was not intentional discrimination. And in fact, I think
why do you need intentional discrimination to remedy a problem like the one that I've identified?
Because if you're going to use race the way that the Robinson appellants want the court to use race in drawing a second majority minority district, you've got to have a compelling interest.
Thank you.
And thank you, Mr. Chief Justice.
Thank you, counsel.
Oh my God. He was like, wow. She's wow,
Mm-hmm. It's bad. And somebody put together a montage of her, of how often she says the phrase, "I just don't understand. I'm having trouble understanding." She has said that so much that there was almost 5 minutes worth of different examples. We're obviously not going to play 5 minutes, but just to give you a little taste, this is just from 1 month last year.
So I don't understand. Can I just understand? And I don't understand. And so what I don't understand, I don't understand your argument. I'm just trying to understand your answer. I don't understand. I guess I don't understand. I don't understand. And I'm just trying to understand. I don't understand, but I'm just trying to understand. I'm trying to understand. So I'm trying to understand. I'm sort of with Justice Kagan trying to understand. I don't understand. I don't understand because I'm still trying to understand. Maybe I'm just not understanding.
And that's 1 month. That's 1 month, Ma.
And that's just, that's one, that's what, 20 seconds of a 4.5-minute clip.
Yeah, these are the consequences of DEI right there. You just heard it. I mean, it's loud and clear. We're watching it play out right in front of our eyes. It's like absolute inadequacy at her job.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. It's embarrassing for the Supreme Court and what it's always stood for. And wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yikes. And then one of the the lawyer from the NAACP, she was arguing about these lines, these map lines and everything, talking about how one of the problems is that white Democrats don't vote for Black people. And so they have to create these new Black majority districts. That was the argument. But what she's not hearing is that she's saying Democrats are racist. Like, just connect those dots finally, because that's what you're really saying. Here's a little snippet. And I think her name is Janai Nelson.
Right, and in the state of Louisiana, that analysis was conducted in the Nairn case, and it was clear that regardless of party, white Democrats were not voting for Black candidates, whether they were Democrats or not. And we know that there is such a significant chasm between how Black and white voters vote in Louisiana that there's no question that even if there is some correlation between race and party, that race is the driving factor.
Okay.
Then Democrats are racist.
Democrats are racist.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like we just drew a correlation there. We just heard you say that. We heard you say that they're racist.
It's amazing. And so then there was the moment where one of the attorneys had to explain to Justice Sotomayor, you're not supposed to use race to develop these crazy rules. That goes against everything that this country is about. He, of course, explains it much better than I just did. And it was a great moment. Here it is.
You could control for partisan effect. There was racially polarized voting even within the Democratic Party. That's where Section 2 matters, where you have a reason to think that a racial group is being treated.
Here, too. You have proof of that here.
No, you don't. What you have here is that Republicans and Democrats are different. There's
no, you have some that even white Republicans or white Democrats won't vote for Black candidates.
Right, but if these were white Democrats, there's no reason to think they would have a second district. None. And so what is happening here is their argument is because these Democrats happen to be Black, they get a second district. If they were all white, we all agree they wouldn't get a second district. That is literally the definition of race subordinating traditional principles.
Yes. Wow.
It was amazing. It was an incredible day.
It's remarkable, isn't it? God, I just cannot believe these women are on the Supreme Court, but okay.
Yeah. And so it'll be interesting to see how this plays out, but it did seem the arguments were very well presented by the right side.
Yeah. And you're right. ZZXXY, they make women look bad.
Yeah, it really does.
It really makes, I mean, you don't see the men doing this. It's the women. And they make us look like freaking dumbasses. You know?
They totally do. But also, men can also look like dumbasses when they carry really fat wallets. Why would they want to do that when they have something this? Look at this.
It's right.
This is a wallet.
I'm
just holding like one of the.
Do you guys remember the Seinfeld fat wallet episode? Do you remember
that?
Oh my
God.
With
and how we would just have to sit like this.
The exploding wallet. Do you remember George Costanza's exploding wallet? Ridge would be the solution to that. It would be the antithesis to the exploding wallet because they have the coolest, slimmest, modern, like sleek wallets. My husband has one, our son has one, and they have an AirTag attachment. So you always know exactly where it is before panic mode sets in. I swear I need one of these, you guys, because I'm like, where's my purse? Where are my keys? Like every single day I do this. But, you know, my husband's not as bad, but they do have that. They have the AirTag attachment, which is really cool. They also make key cases, suitcases, rings, everything. And everything is super durable and sleek and industrial and really manly looking. My guys love their, very manly. My guys love their stuff. It's a great gift idea too. Very unique, very slim, very modern. Holds up to 12 cards plus cash. I don't know why you would need 12 cards, but you know, if you have 12 cards, it holds 12 cards. Very durable. It's made of aluminum, titanium, carbon fiber, and people love them. They totally love them. So you can get 10% off Ridge. Use code CHICKS at checkout when you go to ridge.com/chicks. That's ridge.com/chicks. Use code CHICKS for 10% off. Do that. Do it.
Do it. I mean, unbelievably, Christmas is coming.
It is, you guys. I'm putting my tree up
happening.
November 1st. I'm so excited.